going on, guys? Welcome back to another SURRON vlog. I'm back on the bike again, back with the moto setup, and today we're going to practice some wheelies and also just talk about some of my favorite mods that I've done to the SURRON while we make our way over to the gym. I also have a new mount down here on my handlebars. I'm going to try and set that up with the microphone. I hope that I can, so you guys can get a second angle for this vlog, which I think will be kind of cool. I tested it out the other day and it looks pretty good, honestly, so I'm excited to try it out for the full video. Alright, but back to the topic at hand. Today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite mods that I've made for the SURRON, and probably what I would consider is the top 5 first mods that you should do to your SURRON once you get it. Now, a lot of people would argue that the first thing you should do is get a battery and a controller and all that stuff and increase your range and increase your power and make the bike go 80 miles an hour. I don't agree. I do not agree with that at all. I think the first thing you should do is simple stuff. So like I said in my last moto vlog, I bought this SURRON used here locally in Charlotte, and when I bought it, it actually did have a few modifications made to it already, which were things I was planning on doing it anyways. Yeah, let's go. He likes the SURRON, which are things I was planning on doing to the bike anyways. So that being said, the first modification I think that you should make to the SURRON is really a weak point stock, is the foot pegs. The foot pegs on these bikes stock are so narrow and so small, and they really don't have a ton of gripping power to them. Like my buddy Mason has a SURRON as well. He has a Segway X260, it's the same thing, but he has one and he has the stock pegs on his. He has not upgraded his stock pegs, and the last time I hung out with him and rode his bike, it was a very, very vivid difference in the way that my foot felt on the pegs. I did not feel as planted, and he even did some modifications to his where he sharpened them with a file so that they're sharper than the stock ones are. So stock, they're like dull, rounded foot pegs with not a lot of grip. So I think if you can upgrade to something off of like Amazon, like the ones that I have, these red ones, something like that, something cheap. I think these are probably like 30 or 40 bucks. Like I said, the guy that I bought this bike from already had these on here. I think it just makes a world of difference when it comes to the comfortability of riding this bike. Like I feel like I can plant my feet on the pegs and not feel like I'm gonna slip off or anything. You don't have to spend a ton of money on decent pegs. Like these are probably Amazon pegs, but if you really want to, you can go with something like the prickly pegs. You can go with Warp 9. You can go with Grit Shift even. There's a lot of options out there for you for relatively affordable to expensive foot pegs that are way, way, way better than stock. See if I can hit this little jumpy jump right here. Little jump. Oh, that wasn't a jump, that was a pothole. There we go, a little bit. So the second modification I think you should make to the SURRON is, especially if you're a taller rider like myself. I'm 6'2", and if you're a tall rider, anyone over 6 feet, I would classify you as a tall rider. I think you should do the seat riser kit. It just makes the seating position, the position of your legs and your knees, so much less squatty on the bike. It makes it feel a little bit more tall, obviously, and just makes it relatively more comfortable than the stock setup. Okay, so at this point in the video, it looks like my GoPro microphone got disconnected, sadly, so I lost the audio for this next clip. But the third modification that you should do to your SURRON as a beginner mod, I would have to say would be the Luna float seat, or any kind of upgraded seat really, because the stock seat is so uncomfortable. I promise you, if you ride on this bike for more than an hour, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Literally, you guys remember one of my last videos where I posted the NC Eastgate vlog? That was a half day full of riding. Within the first hour, my butt was so sore from the seat because it's the thinnest foam you can imagine, and then just plastic. So after you're sitting on it for 5 minutes, you're basically sitting on plastic. So upgrading your seat to either the Lunicycle float seat, which is what a lot of people do, that's what I have, it's way more comfortable, or even taking your stock seat, adding extra foam or adding a gel pad and putting a new seat cover on it makes a huge difference. All right, boys, we made it to the gym. I will see you guys after my workout. All right, guys, had a great workout. I'm not allowed to film in the gym, otherwise I would have shown you what I was doing, but basically just got a nice little run in, and did some abs as well. But I got the new camera angle down here for you guys. Hopefully this looks good. On to the fourth modification that you should make to your SURRON, and I think that that should be your suspension, specifically your forks. So you've got Fox 40s, you got Marzocchi Bombers, and then a bunch of other options that are super expensive. That's tier 1 of forks. Tier 2, I would say, would be your Fast Ace forks. And then tier 3, which is just a little bit elevated from stock, I would say, is going to be like what I did. So I got aftermarket forks off of Amazon. They are air forks, and they're kind of like a knockoff of the Marzocchi Bomber 58s. At least the way they look and the way that they feel. They're air forks, so they're not just spring, they're air, which I wanted because I knew I hated the spring in the RST Killa forks. So I opted for something that was able to be pumped up with air, so I could regulate the pressure a little bit more and the compression and stuff. And I've been very, very satisfied with it. Again, it's called the Hamalo 36. I will link them in the description below if you wanted to check them out. They've been really great for me. I've had no problems with them. The only complaint that I have is that they don't have any rebound. It's just compression, no rebound adjustments. But besides that, they perform way, way better than the RST Killa forks. Oh man, it just feels amazing. It's riding weather again, thank God. The fifth and final beginner SURRON mod, I would say, has to be your tires. The stock tires that come on this bike are just absolutely trash. I mean, they are the worst things, but the stock tires are just absolute garbage. They suck in the dirt. They are even worse on the road because they're loud as hell, and the tread gets worn away like tissue paper. So what I did, I didn't have the stock tires for very long. I changed them out for the Shinko 241s, which are like a dual sport enduro type of tire, and they're great because they allow me to ride both on-road and off-road extremely comfortably. Like, if I'm riding on the road, I'm not worrying about how loud they are, because the knobbies are extremely loud and annoying to hear while you're riding. And two, I don't have to worry about the road tearing up the tread of my knobbies. And also, since these are dual sport, these are more than capable of handling off-road trails. So it's kind of like, oh, the best of both worlds. I'm on that sketchy like thing again with the holes in that sketchy little like wood structure that I went over last time with the holes in it. I'm on that again. I shouldn't have come back down here, but I did. I hope we survive. I think we'll be okay. But anyway, like I was saying, the stock tires just do not get it. Like, they suck. Highly recommend upgrading. A lot of people like the 241s and the 244s by Shinko. I'm a big fan of the 241s. I think they look a little bit better. And again, dual purpose, on-road and off-road. Or if you're just a street rider, of course you could get some slicks. And if you're strictly a dirt rider, get you some knobbies. The world is your oyster, but the world is not your oyster when you have on the stock SURRON tires. So I can practice a wheelie here maybe? That was a little bit something. Here we go. I'm getting there, guys. I really am. It might not look like much on camera, but I promise you I am getting there. How wet is this? Is this slop like last time? It doesn't look like it. We might be safe. The last time I came through here, you guys saw, it was a sloppy, wet, muddy mess. I have no intention of going back through here if that's the case again. It looks like it might be okay. It hasn't rained in a little while, so we might be good. Oh my goodness. And here is our exit. And we're out. Wheelie practice? Question mark? Here we go. That was pretty good. That might be one of my best ones to date, honestly. That was pretty damn good. I felt good about that one. Oh! 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 That was bad. Okay, I literally this close to eating shit that time. I did what you're not supposed to do. I let my feet off the pegs. I didn't grab the brake. I didn't pop it enough. It was okay. It was more of a power wheelie than anything else. Power wheelies. That's all I'm doing right now is power wheelies. I have not found the balance point yet. And I'm not even doing the power wheelies well. I'm not holding them up very much. That was pretty good. I'll take that one. That one was pretty solid, actually. I freaking love this bike, dude. I'm so excited that it's getting warm out again. Yes! God, I'm so excited. Cannot wait for summertime. So guys, those are basically my top 5 beginner mods for the SURRON. I am getting to the point with the bike where I am ready for a battery and a controller upgrade. I can safely say that it's time for me to do that. So what I think I'm gonna do is probably go with the Chai 66 volt battery, because that'll give me more range, number one, but it will also, I think, with an aftermarket controller, give me upwards of 20 to 25% more power than stock. And that's really all I want. I want 25% more power than I have right now. And I think that a upgraded controller in the 66 volt, I think that'll get me there. All right guys, and that's pretty much going to wrap up the 5 beginner mods for the SURRON video. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Drop comments and the questions that you have for me in the comment section down below. I'm happy to respond to any questions that you guys have for me about the bike. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Be sure to hit that notification bell as well so you can see when I post next. And I will catch you in the next video.